everyone. Oh my goodness, we're live. Welcome to Real Talk with Dr. Lulu. I know the original time for this show was supposed to be at the top of the hour, but as you know, life be lifing. And so I found myself really challenged this morning when I woke up. I was at a very, very weird place. And so I'm glad that it didn't get the better of me, as they say. My name is Dr. Lulu. Let me find my camera here. Okay. Hope y'all can see me still. I am so excited to be here because a lot of times we plan to do something and then we don't end up doing it. So this was something that I said I was going to do. And even though I woke up this morning feeling less than perfect, less than prepared, less than ready, I decided I gave my word and I'm a woman of my word. So I'm going to go live today if it's the last thing I do, even if it's going to kill me. So yeah. So the show is called Real Talk with Dr. Lulu. It's going to be 30 minutes once a week on Wednesdays for now. This is the kickoff episode. So this is our, I don't want to call it practice episode. Hi, Rons with Quilts. Hello, Melissa Feldhouse. Hello. Long time no see. Hey, sister soul, sister girl. What's going on? I've missed you, sis. Where have you been? Your girl has been doing the things, right? How are you? Please say hello. And if you leave a comment, we're doing the beta testing with StreamYard. So if you leave a comment, I should be able to see it, and everyone else should be able to see it as well. And so your comment says, it's been a while since I've been able to catch you. Yes, this is a brand new show. Today is the first time we're doing this particular show. This is the first time ever. So you haven't missed anything. We're live on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on, I think that's it, and on YouTube. So Melissa is joining us from YouTube today. Welcome, sis. So since last I saw you, so much has been happening. Of course, we have a brand new administration. That in itself is just like 1 year's conversation. But I decided to start doing these every Wednesday afternoon at 12 noon because I know that there's a need for people to see the faces behind the scenes. I know that there's a need for people to hear the voices of those who have dedicated their lives to do this work, which is to agitate, to affirm, to advocate for, to become activists, to support all the things, all the verbs and all the adverbs you can find out there. So our adjectives. So anyway, my name is Dr. Lulu. If you do not know me, I am a pediatrician by trade. I'm a mom of 3. One of the 3 happens to be a transgender young adult, 27 years old. Is that even still young adult? And then the other 2 are aged between 20 and 25. I have been a pediatrician a physician for 35 years now, and a pediatrician for about 32 of those years. And 5 years ago, I decided to low-key hang up my stethoscope and do more advocacy work because first of all, I got burned out. Like most physicians in today's world, we're working in systems that were not designed for us. We're working in systems that do not listen to us. We're working with systems that do not put our patients' needs first, while we took an oath to put our patients' needs first. So here I am. But 5 years ago, after my eldest child invited me into her queer world, at that time she still went by non-binary, I started thinking about what is non-binary and what am I supposed to do with this? Because the whole time we thought the child was just a gay boy. But it turned out that from non-binary, we went to transgender. And so I made all the mistakes so that you don't have to make them. But in my journey of finding myself and not making mistakes and correcting mistakes, I met more people who are also queer, just like me, because one of the things that we don't realize is that it's not just trans people that are LGBT, okay? There are also cisgender people who are LGBT, and many of us are struggling. While today's fight is mainly for trans people because they're the ones getting beat up the most, marriage equality is about to be, I don't know, rescinded, right? We watched as elected officials in Florida chose to dig up a memorial to one of the worst things that happened to queer people in the last 5 years, right? The Pulse nightclub shooting. We watch as a president who is possibly in the closet, because I don't know any other reason why anybody would pick on someone like this or be so interested in people like this. I mean, even if he's Paul's still husband, I know my sis. So Melissa is saying that Paul still hurts her soul. I mean, it hurts everybody's soul, you know. And people are digging up the memorial. There is somebody in everybody's family who is queer, people. Like literally, there's somebody in everybody's family who is queer. This is real talk. We're going to name names. We're going to burst myths. We're going to affirm people as they are, where they are. And that means we're going to tell the truth. So if someone in your family is possibly in the LGBT plus community, why would you be doing this? Just because you don't know the person yet doesn't mean that they don't exist. See, that's the thing. And if you check your whole family, this is what I'm saying with my full chest now. If you check your whole entire family and you cannot find a single person who is LGBT, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror, because yes, every family has someone who is LGBT. Yeah, buddy, I tell people to shake that family tree harder and you will find one or more. Yes, you will find one or more. And I promise you, if you do not find one or more, in the event that you do not find one or more, look in the mirror, because there's no other reason why anyone should be so hell-bent on doing everything that they can to erase somebody else. So the show is called Real Talk with Dr. Lulu. It is because I've made a pivot. For those of you who do not know, my original identity was parents, coach, and I'm still a parents coach because I'm still a parent and I'm a life coach, right? But after the election, the most recent elections went the way they went, a lot of my clients, parents of queer kids, had their fears became founded, number one. Number two, many of them have had to go into hiding because they're people that we don't know are coming for their kids. So I asked myself, what else can I do? Who else can I talk to that is a stakeholder in the life of a queer person? Also, just because my child or my young adult is trans doesn't mean that my work is only facing trans people. And I think people forget that. Yes, my kid is trans, but I'm pansexual, right? So I'm for everyone because I'm also Black. I'm also an immigrant. I'm also a woman. I'm all the things. So I am not necessarily only here because of trans people, but I am here also because of trans people. My work is facing the multiply marginalized person. And queer people happen to be multiply marginalized, but so are the unhoused, so are immigrants, so are women actually today, whether you like it or not, so are non-binary people, right? So are Muslims, right? So my work is purely facing the multiply marginalized person. However, because I am also a member of the queer community, naturally, my biggest population that I'm helping magnify their voice are queer people. But they're not voiceless. I think people sometimes say, oh, I'm a voice for the voiceless. I'm not a voice for the voiceless. My people are not voiceless. No. As a matter of fact, if anybody's loud, it's queer folks. My job is to magnify that voice of theirs, is to make that voice even louder with my own platform. So I just wanted to put that little clarification there. But we're going to be talking about all the things every Wednesday. The show will probably last about 30 minutes at the most. We may or may not have guests. So if you have anything you would like to talk about based on what I've kind of talked about right now, let me know. Send me an email. My email is easy. Ask Dr. Doctor, ask Dr. Lulu at gmail.com. Until we get real talk with Dr. Lulu at gmail.com and all the other things done. For now, that's the email because it has my name in it, so it's easy to remember. So ask Dr. Lulu at gmail.com. Send me questions, send me concerns, send me anything you'd like me to talk about. Melissa, who is just a friend of my podcast called Moms for Trans Kids podcast, has just always been so supportive. So Melissa, you may end up being a guest on this show. I mean, why not? So this is a healing space, believe it or not. I'm a physician. I'm a life coach. My work is about healing. It is trauma-informed space. It is a learning space, and it's a truth-telling space. It's a bias-led space in the sense that we are leading with the biases that we all have, right? We're facing the biases that we all have. We are talking about the biases that we all have. So it's going to be multi-layered. And if Melissa says I'm okay with that, I'll talk about my amazing son. Yes, absolutely. Talk about yourself. You're an activist if I ever know one. You're an advocate if I ever know one. You're an agitator if I ever know one. I describe myself as an agitator all day, every day. I agitate. People don't want me around because I'm going to tell the truth. Not because I've never told a lie, but because I tell more truths. And that's just the truth, right? So let's talk about what's actually happening in healthcare, in schools, in homes, at the church, at the playground, at the White House, right? What's happening to queer and Black folks and immigrant folks and trans folks there? The truth is, you cannot tell me that every single employee at the White House is straight. You know why you can't tell me that? Because at last count, 10% of adults are members of the LGBT plus community. 10%. And as I always say, that's only the 10% who raise their hands. So 9 times out of 10, there are many more people who just did not raise their hands. So I know that at your place of work, at your school, at your church, at the playground where your kids play, wherever your kids hang out, at the bar, at your doctor's office, there are queer people. Yesterday, I went to see patients because I see patients once or twice a week at Kaiser. And I went to see patients yesterday, and lo and behold, one of the patients that I saw is a trans boy, right? So it happens. And I just want to say thank you to Kaiser for being an affirming place of work. And it's just such a beautiful thing that I have the mindset that I have, the views that I have, and I found a PRN job, which means when needed, and in my own case, if I want to, job at a place like that. So of course, I'm going to keep my Georgia license as long as I can because I live in Georgia. That's the thing. So we're going to talk about all the people who live at that intersection. And we know we don't talk about minority anymore. I will never use the word minority anymore because we're actually the global majority. We're just marginalized. So that's why I say multiply marginalized people, because by the time you add trans, Black, queer, Muslim, unhoused, uninsured, underinsured, people living in the poverty level, all that, we are the majority. So you will not hear me use the word minority anymore. Because once you know better, you do better. And as long as you keep doing better, you will keep doing better. So I am just so excited. Welcome to everyone who has joined us. My name is Dr. Lulu. The show is called Real Talk with Dr. Lulu. We'll try to go live at 12 noon every Wednesday. I came in late today because I woke up not doing so well. But if you want to hear about that, just press rewind and watch this again. But the show goes on. So I wanted to talk about affirming care or affirmation. People hear about me, and the first thing they think about is that I preach affirming care. So let's talk about that for a moment after I take my sip of my water, okay? So I preach affirming care. I do preach about affirming care, but really my message in my preaching is about affirmation. I want to talk about the fact that when you hear affirming care, the first thing people think about is hormones and surgery. Oh my God, they're mutilating the babies. They're cutting off their body parts. That's not true. Gender affirming care is much bigger than hormones and surgery. But in my case, I'm not even talking about gender affirming care. I'm just talking about affirmation, meaning I'm going to tell you that you are who you say you are, and I'm going to support you as you are, as the person that you are. Thank you to everyone watching. If you have any questions, please type in the comment section. If you have any concerns, please let us know. If you want to talk about anything, please put it. I would like to learn about who you are. I would like to know who you are, give you a shout out. Right now, I only see Melissa, but I see at least 9 other people watching. So Melissa is the only person that said hello. So of course I'm giving her name a shout out, but I know that there are more people, but you also don't have to, just as you feel. That's part of affirmation, right? I want to meet you not just where you are. Check this out. Not just where you are, but where you would like me to meet you. I know people don't talk about that. They think about, oh, let's meet people where they are. The truth is, sometimes I don't want you to meet me where I am. For instance, I live in Buckhead. If we're going to be like really concrete about that, I live in Buckhead. Maybe I don't want you to meet me in Buckhead. Maybe I want you to meet me in Midtown, right? Which is where I love. Yes, I live in Buckhead, but I love Midtown. So maybe I want you to meet me in Midtown. An example is, for instance, if somebody comes to see you at the office and they are HIV positive and they came with their partner even, right? I might not want you to talk about my HIV positivity in front of my partner. Maybe I haven't told my partner that I'm HIV positive. So it's not just meeting me where I am, which is I am HIV positive. It's also meeting me where I want you to meet me. So it's a patient-led care. It's patient-centered care. See the difference? It's about where that person actually, Melissa, let me know, is this making sense? It's about where that person wants you to meet them so that at the end of the day, they are the drivers. You're riding shotgun with them. Okay? So affirming care is not extra. It's not political. It's not anything more than just coming into the room and seeing the patient in front of you. My kid came back from Planned Parenthood. I said, Mom, I'm done. I said, done with what? She said, I'm done. I'm done being tokenized. I'm done people always asking me about my genitalia. I'm done people always asking me if I've transitioned. I'm done. I'm done educating my doctor. And what I heard my child say was, Mom, what are you going to do about it? Because you are part of the problem. You are a doctor, And believe it or not, I was bullied recently online by doctors because of the work that I do. I was bullied. Melissa says definitely. I was bullied in a Facebook group with 17,000 doctors because I made an announcement that, hi guys, guess what? I've just launched my brand new practice, which by the way, I'm going to share that with y'all. So I have a brand new practice called Dr. Lulu's Pride Corner. It is a telehealth and telecoaching practice. So it's open to everyone, every identity, every age, beginning from age 6. Because by the age of 6, your child knows that they're transgender. Your child knows that they're non-binary. Your child does. So we're starting at the age of 6 and moving up. We're going to coach parents. We're going to coach allies. We're going to coach family members. If you live in Georgia, Minnesota, California, or Texas, I can see you as a patient. We'll take care of your mental health. We'll take care of your sexual health. We'll take care of all the things that you need that your doctor may not be able to offer. We'll see you within 24 hours of you asking to be seen. Your visits will be 1 hour per visit. I don't know any doctor's office where they see you for 1 hour. I don't. But mine is. Also will never turn you away for lack of payment. What we will do is we'll work with you, again, meeting you where you want us to meet you. You name your price. So as long as it's up to from $0 to $100, you get one visit in a month, right? From $0 to $100. So one visit per month is $100 for 1 hour. You get resources, you get names, doctors, affirming people. You will get all your questions answered in the 1 hour. You can literally get a lot of transformation in 1 hour. Many people don't know that. So we will give you all of that if you want to. Let me put the practice is called Dr. Lulu's Pride Corner. And if you go to Melissa, could you please type this for me? dr-lulu.com / I think it's Pride. Okay. You know what? Don't judge me. It may not be Pride because our website is being built right now. So it may not be Pride, but I'm not sure. It might be Pride Center. I don't even know my own. It may be Pride, but if it's not Pride, it's going to be Pride. Okay. So in the meantime, just send me an email if you're interested to know more about Ask Dr. Lulu at gmail.com. So this is possibly the website. I'm not sure. dr-lulu.com because we're building it right now. But if you send me an email, Ask Dr. Lulu at gmail.com, you will we will get all your questions answered. So that's my email for anyone who has questions about the practice. But yeah, I'm just excited. But I made that announcement and they came with their Bibles. They came for me, honey. Doctors, same people who swore to first do no harm. So Affirming Care truly doesn't treat anybody differently. It treats them right. You know, it doesn't treat LGBT people differently. It treats them right. And because bias begins at home, affirmation also begins at home, right? Affirmation just means you are who you say you are. I believe you. And how can I support you? That's my definition for affirmation. How can I support you? Because I don't know what you need. You do. So Melissa says, I agree. I agree with Affirming Care. I think affirmation begins at home, I think is what Melissa is saying. They agree with. So Affirming Care doesn't treat LGBT people differently, just treats them correctly, treats them right, treats them how they would like to be treated. So if bias begins at home, equity begins at home. Affirmation begins at home. Meaning, as y'all know, equity is not everybody gets a t-shirt. Equity is everybody gets a t-shirt that fits. And if you want us to really push it further, everybody gets a t-shirt in the style and the color, right? And the size that fits. So that's equity. Because you begin teaching your children meanness at home, or they begin to see you being mean at home. So yes, if bias, which basically is instant judgment and negative treatment. So for me, bias equals instant judgment plus negative treatment. That's bias for me. So I have my own definition of everything because I can. You can also make up your own definition. So bias is instantly judging somebody and negatively treating them. And even if you don't think you're treating them negatively, which is unconscious bias, even when you don't think you're treating them negatively, they perceive themselves as being treated negatively. You see? So it definitely is learned at home. And therefore, you can begin to unlearn that or unteach that also at home, right? So we need to widen the lens. This is not just about gender affirming care. I really truly want people to understand that this is trauma informed, it is bias informed, it is intersectionality informed, it is safety informed, it is inclusion informed. And that's why I love what Taylor Townsend said recently when the white lady, I don't know her name, I'm not going to call her name, called her uneducated and whatever because she lost the tennis match to her. She didn't lose by 1 point, right? She did not lose by 1 point. But the lady was upset because she got 1 point for some netball, whatever thing. I don't know, it doesn't matter. And she called her names. She called her names. So what Taylor said was that wherever I go, I bring my own belonging with me. And I love that, right? So I want to, before I leave, I want to challenge you to bring your own belonging with wherever you're going. Bring your own inclusion with wherever you're going. Don't let anybody tell you you don't belong somewhere. Don't let anybody tell you just don't let anybody tell you that you don't belong. That don't stay in it. Don't remain in toxicity. We don't want that. So drop a hat in the comment section if everything I've said so far has resonated with you. If you've ever maybe been like my child and been the one that had to teach your doctor, drop a hat in the comment section. If you are, if you've never, lucky you, because I know I have. And very recently I made a post on social media when a nurse at the VA, actually asked me if I thought I was straight. And let me tell you, that's the first time ever in my life that anybody ever asked me about my sexuality. So while she did it in a weird, crude way, hey, she did it. At least she's aware that everyone on her seat that she's checking their vital sign is not straight. And I was so grateful. I felt seen. I felt so excited that I made a post about it. And I told her that I made a post about it. And I showed her the post. And she liked the post. She was like, oh my God, that's nice. I said, yes, because in my 56 years of living, of all the doctors I've ever been to in my life, and I've been to a few doctors, no one has ever asked me if I thought I was straight, even though that's not the way to ask, right? That's not the way to ask. And if you'd like me to tell you how to ask, write the word ask in the comment section if you'd like me to tell you the proper way to ask about somebody's sexuality. If you just put a heart in the comment and I'll share that with you. In the meantime, if you're a physician and anything I've said, I have never been asked before either. Yeah, there go Melissa. Melissa says she's never been asked. Yeah. I mean, it's just not what people ask. And she works at the VA. So I was extremely excited and so proud of her for sticking her neck out and say, do you think you might be gay? I think she said, do you think you're straight? So she asked me. And so I know you all are shy, but I also know you all want to know. And so the best way to do that is to say, I'm going to ask you a more personal question because we are asking people, or we're asking everyone these questions. Is it okay if I ask you a personal question? You can say about your sexuality or about your gender identity. So begin by getting permission, right? First tell them, premise it by saying, we are asking everyone these questions. And so I'm going to ask you some personal questions. Anybody who is provided that upfront, it's going to be like, sure. So what is your sexual identity? What is your gender identity? I love the word what because what is open-ended, right? Or how would you describe? So the two words to use are what or how. How would you describe your sexual identity? How would you describe your gender identity? How would you describe? Or what is it? What is more direct than how would you describe? So I want you all to remember that as we close out this today. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'm so glad I did this because I almost didn't do it. Next week, Wednesday at 12 noon, I might be on a plane, but I don't know. But next week, Wednesday, just join me next week, Wednesday. Just start looking for me at 12 noon. If I'm not going to be able to make it at 12 noon, I'll let you all know ahead of time. So the show is called Real Talk with Dr. Lulu. We had a bunch of people join on Instagram. King's Paradise, Sage Destiny, Palnate, Adreo, Lily 412, Lemon Sapphire, Magnetic 12, Howdy Partner, Moonlight, July Star, Mahfood 57, and Coffee Dogs and more. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope it was useful. Melissa, I'm just going to keep calling you my sister because you're here and I know you already. Melissa, was it useful? Was it worth it? Before I forget, if you'd like to go deeper than this 30-minute surface thing, I am hosting a workshop in September, last Tuesday of September, September 23rd. It will be at 7 p.m. The link is in all of my bios, Facebook, Instagram, not YouTube because I don't know how to do that. Okay, I'm not going to say I don't know how to do that. I'm going to figure it out. And not LinkedIn either. So I'm going to put the link as well. So it is a 90-minute workshop. It is not free. My webinars are usually free. This is not free. Early birds end next Friday. So I'm going to need you to hurry up already. It's $197 for early bird. We are going to go deep into what affirmation is, how to truly affirm your patient. The title is How to Affirm Your LGBT plus patient in 3 easy steps. We're going to talk to you about 3 steps on affirming your patient. So if you're watching me right now, I need you to do me one favor, just one favor. Tell one person about my webinar, even if you don't need it. Just tell one person about the webinar. It's next week, Tuesday. It's the last Tuesday of this month, September 23rd. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is virtual, so you can watch it from the comfort of your home. It is $197 for early birds. That rate ends next week Friday. Is for professionals who are ready to unlearn bias and begin to build affirming practices. So please message me for more details, then I'll send you my calendar link. Actually, let me put the calendar link because why not? That thought came to me, so I'm going to put the calendar link here. So calendly.com/Dr. Lulu. And this time I'm sure is /workshop. So calendly.com/Dr. Lulu /workshop. Okay, so that is on the screen right now. I don't know if that's visible on, okay, it is visible. Very good. I didn't know it was visible or not. So it's visible on Instagram as well. So that is the link to join us if you're interested, to share with your friends who may be physicians, who are maybe looking for how to affirm their patients, who may be looking for community, because I'm also creating a community for physicians who are affirming. During my last webinar, one of the doctors that attended asked a very beautiful question. He said, where can I find these doctors that are affirming? Where are they? I said, well, first of all of you in this webinar right now are affirming. So right now, all of you are affirming. So now find each other, but also I'm going to be creating and curating a space for y'all. So pray for me. Pray for me for all these things that I'm doing. Pray for me for all these things that I'm doing. It's a lot of things. If you're a student or a resident and you would like to join, we have special rates for students and residents. So just let me know. Just let me know. Everything is introductory rates at this point. So before I leave, does anybody have any questions based on everything that we've talked about today? If you don't, then thank you so much for being here. The show is called Real Talk with Dr. Lulu. It's going to be every Wednesday at 12 noon. It's real talk, truly, the kind that saves lives, the kind that educates, the kind that affirms, the kind that meets you where you are, because you matter. Your life matters, your story matters. Affirming you is important to me. It's not extra care, it's the care. It's the care that you need. And so, whether it's at church or at the doctor's or at work, wherever you need affirmation, I'm happy to come join y'all. So I'm going to call it a day. Thank you all so much for coming today. Hopefully this helped a lot. And that's kind of all I had. I'm going to end the stream now, and I'll see you all soon. Next week, Wednesday. Please mark your calendar, 12 noon on Wednesday next week. I'll be here. Come rain or shine. No matter how I'm feeling, no matter how bad my emotions are, I'll come because this is needed. And I'm going to come from my future self. 5 years of doing this, like our 5th anniversary, which will be first week of September in 5 years. How much we'll have grown, right? So I'll see you all then. Bye. My name is Dr. Lulu. Email me, askdrlulu@gmail.com. Join the movement.